Yeah, sorry about that. Hi, Dr. Humphreys. My name is Joshua Russell, and I decided to do my project on the dangers of biocommunicability. So as a little introduction, biocommunicability is an important tool that is used in the United States today. It drives how people perceive certain drugs and is seen in major parts of American media. All these different pharmaceutical companies use various techniques to try and promote their drugs, regardless of the risk to the public. So in this paper, I'm going to analyze commercials from Mounjaro and Quivik and look how they communicate their products to the public. And I will argue that the methods pharmaceutical companies use to promote their products are dangerous to Americans. So what is biocommunicability? Biocommunicability from the article is described as the ways in which the constitution of social subjects is embedded in ideologies about the flow of information and of discourse, about who constitutes biomedical knowledge, who's authorized to evaluate it and speak about it, and through what channels it is assumed to flow. So essentially, it's how information about health gets passed around the public and how trustworthy the person that is passing around the information is. And this follows a very neoliberal approach. So meaning that there's a lot less government controls. So as described in the article, there are no price controls, no regulation of capital markets, low trade barriers, and a reduced state economy through privatization and austerity. This kind of approach where there's less regulation leads to an active, responsible individual. So an active, responsible individual is pretty much someone that can make the best decision for themselves and they're well informed. And this purchasing power leads to something called a homo economist, where the individuals purchase for their own self-interest. On top of this, there are two models that biocommunicability follows. One is the doctor knows best model, where the doctor is seen as the expert, so he knows what to prescribe to you. And then the second model is the patient consumer model, where the patient knows best about the pharmaceutical companies, and they will often speak about the issue instead of the doctors. And this follows kind of that neoliberal approach where the consumer is choosing what is best for them. So now we're going to go over the Mounjaro commercial.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual. Squawk. That's Limu's line. That's Limu's line.
What if my type 2 diabetes takes over? What if all I do isn't enough? Or what if I can do diabetes differently?
Now you can with once weekly Mounjaro. Mounjaro helps your body regulate blood sugar. And Mounjaro can help decrease how much food you eat. 3 out of 4 people reached an A1C of less than 7%. Plus, people taking Mounjaro lost up to 25 pounds. Mounjaro is not for people with type 1 diabetes or children. Don't take Mounjaro if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Mounjaro and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, vision changes, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis and gallbladder problems. Taking Mounjaro with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Tell your doctor if you're nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can cause dehydration and may worsen kidney problems.
I can do diabetes differently with Mounjaro.
Ask your doctor about once weekly Mounjaro.
So that is the Mounjaro commercial. So this commercial was aired for the Super Bowl in 2023. And as you can see, it started off with a man and woman who looked depressed. And the woman states that she can then do diabetes differently and that Mounjaro helped. And then the narrator goes on to explain what Mounjaro does, which is help type 2 diabetes by regulating your blood sugar and decreasing the amount of food you will eat. And then also points out that if you start taking Mounjaro, you'll lose up to 25 pounds. And it puts in a very small text box that this is not a weight loss drug. And there are lots of little text boxes like that throughout the commercial. It then goes on to list the side effects very quickly. And as it's doing that, it shows the two actors in the background being very active. The man who was at first depressed is now playing and winning soccer games and going to an outdoor barbecue with his family after taking Manjaro. Meanwhile, the woman is now smiling and going on long drives and hikes with her husband and dog. And then it then ends with the narrator telling you to ask your doctor about Manjaro. So I think this commercial highlights the dangers and the abuse of power that pharmaceutical companies have. For one thing, there are no medical experts talking to us about the drug. The only ones who talk are the narrators and the actors, and we do not know the qualifications of the narrator at all, and she's most likely just reading off a script. They also try to use diverse actors to appear to a minority audience, specifically the African American woman. And then the media, again, it also talks about how you can lose weight by taking this drug. And it quickly puts the little text box that it's not a weight loss drug. And I think this is kind of deceiving. And because the commercial never says that's not a weight loss drug, you'd have to pay very close attention to read that it is not a weight loss drug. So this will appeal to people who want to lose weight. There are also many side effects that you have to take into account, but it tries to distract you by showing the active lifestyle of the people who are taking the drug. While the side effects are being read off, it's easy to get distracted by the man who's playing soccer, the woman going on a hike and petting her dog. But this is how the commercial wants you to feel. Wants you to feel like as a result of taking this drug, your health will just automatically improve. And we don't really see any research from this. And this commercial is a great example of how neoliberalism is used and the patient consumer model is used. In this commercial, the consumer is speaking and benefiting from the drug, and there's no real emphasis on the medical field. It's more like a personal message to try to appeal to people. And then the neoliberalism comes into play when it tells you to go ask your doctor. By doing this, they're trying to get you to become an active individual by you actively asking your doctor instead of the doctor trying to prescribe something to you. So the patient's the one making the decision instead of the doctor. So they have to be well informed. Okay, so now we'll go over the Quivic commercial.
I've always had trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, insomnia. But then I found Quvivic, an FDA-approved medication for adults with insomnia. And I'm glad I found it. You wouldn't believe some of the things people suggested to help me sleep. Nature sounds, no thanks. My friend's white noise idea, nope. And I'm not counting sheep. Not on the carpet. Insomnia can impact both my days and my nights. So I know how important a good night's sleep is. That's why I take Quvivic nightly.
Maybe I should tell him how it works, Tate? Quvivic works differently than medications you may have taken in the past. It's thought to target one of the biological causes of insomnia, overactive wake signals. And when taken every night, studies showed sleep continued to improve over time. Do not take Quvivic if you have narcolepsy. Don't drink alcohol while taking Quvivic or drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully alert. Quvivic may cause temporary inability to move or talk or hallucinations while falling asleep or waking up. Quvivic may cause sleepiness during the day. Quvivic may lead to doing activities while not fully awake that you don't remember the next day, like walking, driving, and making or eating food. Worsening depression, including suicidal thoughts, may occur. Most common side effects are headaches and sleepiness.
It's Quvivic. Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
So in this commercial, sorry, one sec. Okay, so this commercial starts off by introducing your actor, Taye Diggs, as he discusses how he's been struggling to sleep because he has insomnia, as we saw. However, once he started taking Quvivic, he's finally able to fall asleep. It then cuts to a doctor who discusses how it helps patients fall asleep. For a very quick second before it cuts to the doctor, it has a chat, you know, within the next slide where it says it's an actor portrayal. So this is not a real doctor that's talking. It's just an actor that's portraying a doctor. And she's the narrator for the rest of the commercial. And she lists off the side effects of the drugs. And there are some very serious side effects like sleeping, like sleeping, oh my God, driving in your sleep and you won't remember, or there's suicidal thoughts as well. But while these side effects are being read, it's easy to get distracted by Taye Diggs drinking his coffee or getting dressed and overall just like enjoying his life. Like he looks like a happy person. And then as in the last commercial, it ends with him saying to go ask your doctor about QVIC. So for my analysis of this is a great example of the patient consumer model again, except this one uses a celebrity to try to appeal to people because celebrities are credible to some people. And people trust celebrities whether they're credible in the topic or not, just by like gut feeling. So it tries to convince you to get it by using an actor and or a famous person, a celebrity, and then it also tries to get your trust by using a quote unquote doctor, even though it's just an actor, which I think is very deceiving to do because they put this actor portrayal that is shown here, like right here, for a very quick second. So it's trying to get you to trust what the doctor is saying, even though it's not an actual doctor. And then, like the last commercial, again, the side effects are read off very quickly. And there's some very serious side effects, as I mentioned, like suicidal thoughts or driving in your sleep. And I think this is, but it just shows the actor himself, Ty Diggs. It shows him just like being a happy person while all these side effects are being read off, which I think is a dangerous portrayal because that's not how it will be for everyone. And I think that since these are very serious side effects, they also had like that these drugs will get abused so that you can get addicted to them. They need to be researched more before it's put out into the public, in my opinion. And then on top of that, it also follows the neoliberal approach of talk to your doctor. And it gives you the illusion of the power of choice by telling you to ask, because you are supposed to be that active individual. You're supposed to ask your doctor about these, and you're supposed to be able to take care of yourself. So now for my conclusion, I think the ways that commercials display their drugs are dangerous. They try to convince consumers that by taking it, all of your issues will be solved and that you can now go out and be a very active individual. You know, you can go play soccer, or go on hikes, or just sleep well and go about your day. But however, in reality, these drugs will not do that for most individuals, and portraying it that way is wrong. It is all mostly a marketing method to fool consumers into believing that they have a choice. And like maybe for some people, these will help. It will help you improve your sleep or it'll help with your type 2 diabetes. But it's just foolish to think that it will happen like that for everyone. It's all just a marketing strategy. Thank you. That's all I have.